because Education USA is here for you.
Pada Ramadan tahun ini, masyarakat di seluruh dunia, termasuk warga Amerika dan Indonesia, sedang bekerja, belajar dan beribadah dari rumah. Meskipun kita berjauhan secara fisik, semangat kita tetap bersama dalam menjadikan bulan suci Ramadan sebagai momen untuk refleksi diri dan peduli dengan sesama. Saya Heather Variava, Kuasa Usaha Ed Interim Kedubes AS, mengucapkan selamat menunaikan ibadah puasa.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ed America TV. My name is Maya. I'm one of the guides at Ed America, and we welcome our audience members joining us online. We truly hope that you are doing well and staying safe amidst this outbreak. Well, anyway, for those of you who are first-timers here, hi, welcome to Ed America TV for the first time. Ed America is the U.S. Embassy's American Center. Our mission is to provide a space for young generations of Indonesia to learn more about the United States. We have temporarily moved to a solely digital platform so you guys can enjoy our program from the comfort of your own home and help flatten the curve of COVID-19. Don't forget to leave your questions in the comment box below, and our panelists will answer them later in the seminar. And for those of you who are joining us through Zoom, there are a couple of features that you can use to actively participate in the seminar. You can use the raise hand section to ask your questions, and you can also use the chat box section to simply just to say hi to the other participant and also the panelists as well. But before we begin, I think we are going to have a poll. You might want to fill them out. Okay. Where did you hear about this event? Second question, where are you watching from? Are you watching from Java, Sumatra, Sulawesi, Kalimantan, Papua, East Nusa Tenggara, West Nusa Tenggara, Maluku, or outside of Indonesia? All right, next question. What type of digital programs do you want to see from Ed America? You can choose more than one options here. All right. Are you done? All right, cool. Now, today we are going to be having a session about Decluttering 101 for your home and soul. But before we begin, I have a little game to break the ice. You ready? All right. The question is, true or false, decluttering makes you feel more content? Get it? All right. I repeat the question one more time. True or false, decluttering makes you feel more content? You can participate this quiz through our social media comment section, and Stay tuned till the end of this program to find out who got the correct answer. Oh, and one more thing, guys, I almost forgot. Please don't hesitate to take a selfie and share this experience of joining this event through your social media and tag us on Instagram at ATAmerica. Now, without further ado, please welcome our moderator for today, Mbak Esta Wanta. Halo, Mbak Esta.
Hi, Maya. Thank you for the introduction.
All right, Mbak Esta, are you ready?
Yes. Ready as I'll
Okay,
ever
Mbak
be.
Esta, take it away.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you again to Maya and to America for hosting this event this morning. My name is Esta Wanta, as Maya already indicated before, and welcome to America TV's event called Decluttering 101 for your home and your soul. Again, thank you all for taking the time. It is, I think, in quarantine time zone, this is quite early for some of us. And one of our speakers is actually from the US. And so it's quite late there. So thank you all for coming together to really make this online event happen. And so without further ado, I think we can jump into introducing our speakers for today. We have two separate sessions, in fact, for this event this morning. But for the first session, we'll have a talk show with two amazing women that will talk a little bit more about their experience and their thoughts about living a more organized life and decluttering for the betterment of your space and also your soul. So I'd like to first introduce our first speaker, Debbie Sandler. She's an organizing specialist and also the founder of A Life Better Organized. Since 2017, she has met and helped many clients with different organizational needs in all types of homes through exciting and difficult life transitions. She also strongly believes that a clutter-free environment without all the chaos leads to a peaceful, calmer, and more productive life. Her passion and commitment for guiding individuals and families on a journey of less stress, less stuff, more life, and a fresh start is what truly makes her job so rewarding. So hi there, Debbie. Hope you're holding up okay in the US.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And so the next speaker that I'd like to introduce is Kania Anissa Anggiani, or better known as Kania. She is a mother of two who is passionate about life at home. She is the lady behind Chic and Darling, a local lifestyle brand that has designed and manufactured ethical goods with a purpose since 2013. She also cares about mental health issues and is really aware of how living a more mindful and organized life can truly affect your mental health stability. She believes that physical clutter is equal to mental clutter. Therefore, it is important to make the right space for the things in life. Could not have said it better from the profiles of our two speakers. Hi, Kania. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Hi, Esta. Hi, everybody.
Oh, good.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking the time. So I'm guessing we can both hear our speakers, Debbie and Kania, for today. So I think we can jump straight into the talk show and really, pick their minds about this topic of decluttering for one's home and also for one's soul. And usually I like to start these discussions to really anchor everyone's attention to the topic with a quote. And there was this one quote that I encountered recently by the goddess of cleaning up and decluttering, really, that blew up recently, which is Marie Kondo. And she once said that tidying is an act of confronting yourself. And that really hit me. That became really relatable for me, and I'm sure for a lot of our audience today. And so drawing from that quote, I'd like to direct a question to Kania first, in which, perhaps if you're willing, when was that moment for you, Kania, when you first confronted yourself about the clutter in your space and in your mind? And, perhaps if you're willing, you can describe what it was like for you and the process of when you realized, oh, so this is the clutter in my life and in my mind, and it might be dragging me behind and not forward. And what was that process for you like? And perhaps for Debbie at the same time, what is the origins of a life better organized, and how did you and when did living and practicing an organized life start for you? Maybe we can start with Kania first.
Okay, Esta, thank you so much for your question. I'm going to try to answer my best based on my experience. I guess I never really realized about the clutters of my life, or being more organized until I hit college, I guess. But I have always been raised in an environment where everything is pretty much tidy. My parents are, they're pretty neat, especially my dad. I mean, they're both neat. My dad is a bit of a control freak with his stuff, and he always has stuff for his things. And my mom is like, she's a lady, like she's a lady of order. Like everything has to be in order. And I think that kind of implemented in me in like subconsciously. I never really pinpoint that that is different than the rest until I like came to people's houses and then like noticed like, why is like things are everywhere, and then why is the juice here, and then why is not there, and then like I didn't even realize that was like I was being raised differently in a way, in that organizing way, until I'm like, I have friends that I can visit their houses, and until I was in college. And when I was in college, I realized that I had a roommate, and my roommate was a mess, like physical mess. And that drove me crazy. And because everything like in my room has a place, right? But that time I didn't know that. I mean, it wasn't the term clutter or being organized was not as popular as now, right? Like I was just being me. I mean, because that's what I knew, right? Because that's what I knew from my surrounding and from my upbringing. So, and then I realized that I told my roommate, let me help you clean up your clean up your room. I mean, her room is just like my room.
Wow,
size, right?
You're such a great roommate.
No, because it drives me crazy. Every time I saw her room, I was like, oh my God, like how do you live like that? And then I offered her, but I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to be like telling her what to do. So I offered her, like, do you want me to help you? Because she seemed to be having problems with her school, with her with her assignments. She couldn't get it right, And then she was late with her deadline submission and all that. And then I told her, why don't I help you, clean up this mess and then see how it goes in a week? Does it help you think? Like, does it help you put your life in order? And then she said like, but I don't know where to start. And then I go like, okay, let's just start from what's easy for you. So I helped her, like, long story short, we did give it a week for her. And then she started to have like an epiphany that, I'm going to start like doing this one by one. And then guess what? She submitted her deadlines the following week. Not as late as before. And then but then I realized, oh, okay, so this is probably a bit like a serious problem. Like if you can't get your stuff like in your surrounding nice and tidy, or at least clear, it's hard to get things right in your mind because there's so many, like, because we have so many knickknacks around us. And for me, I cannot work if I have too many stuff around me. And that goes to my bedroom. It goes to my kids' bedroom. And now I just realized, oh, okay, now that it's a trend, it is important, I guess, for people's lifestyle to be more mindful, I guess. Yeah, so that's just the history with me.
Wow.
Nothing special, nothing rocket science.
No, that's very interesting. I love how, again, I would love to have a roommate like you. I wish you were my roommate.
But it wasn't a professional thing that I did. It was just what I knew, what I just knew.
Exactly. It was just your reality. And, luckily you were able to implement it to others around you, and you can see the results. She actually became more organized. She submitted her work. So there you go. Great job. That's a great kind of testimony / story to, how your life works. So I guess over to Debbie. What was it like for you, Debbie? How did was it also natural to you, like Kanya, like it is to Kanya?
Oh, yes. I'm listening to Kanya and I'm thinking that's my story totally. But yes, right. So growing up, I definitely was the one who spent hours reorganizing and organizing and reorganizing constantly. And I really didn't even think that that was something that nobody else did. But I was a little obsessive over it. And I'm laughing a little about the control freak because I definitely had to be in control of all my stuff. And that's really pretty much how it developed. And I didn't really know it at that time, but as as I grew up and I constantly had to have everything in place, aside from a little OCD, it definitely led me on this journey to help others and to start my business.
Amazing. Wow. See, I guess this is, when both of you have explained sort of your backgrounds and how it came to you, this living an organized life. It's, for some people, it's natural. It's how they were raised by their parents, like Kanye, and also for Debbie, it was just something that's innate. But for others, perhaps it's not. And that's where you come in, isn't it, Debbie? Where, people really do struggle.
Oh, absolutely. It's, it does come naturally for a lot of people. And those that suffer are a lot of the people that I do work with. And it's obvious how much they struggle with it. Because while we're doing working with clients and decluttering and getting their lives organized and rooms and spaces, they're blown away that they never even realized that what they was disorganized. So, it's, and they would constantly say that they don't see it that way. And, you have to learn to deal with that, actually. Because,
the dilemma, the denial.
Yeah, well, now even, when you're living with people who aren't organized, but it's definitely a struggle for those that it doesn't come naturally to them. So
that's true. It's interesting that you brought up the point, especially when you live with other people who are, who are also not innately clean, so to speak, or, who have lived an organized life. How has that been for the both of you? How has your surroundings, especially now you have your own families and you have children, and, how have they and your close friends and, just circle coped or adjusted with, your reality of living an organized life? Did they quickly adjust or maybe hesitated in a while? And perhaps do you have any tips?
For me, if we're speaking right now during this pandemic, with everybody home, it's definitely difficult to get others on board with what you're doing. I mean, just a few hours ago, I was just complaining to my husband and my son that, things need to get back to where they belong. It's not really, I don't see it as being difficult. They don't really care. And that's where the disconnect is they don't find it to be a problem. And that's with most people who are not naturally organized. So it is difficult for people living under the same roof now all the time because of the pandemic. Some of them want to start to get organized more and declutter their stuff and simplify, and the others don't want to get on board. So it becomes where they have to, start to compromise and work that out, And what else are you gonna do at this point? So it's difficult.
Yeah, I'm sure. Do you have any tips, perhaps, Debbie, to our audience out there to how to nudge the people living around them and their families to kind of,
I definitely
come together.
This works. So I think the first thing that you have to do is work out a compromise, get together and discuss a living area, what it is that how do you see it, that you want it to be organized, And then you have to speak to the other people and see, where they're at with the space. The best thing to do is to tidy up the space first and get everybody on board with it, and see if they're, okay with this, with the situation and how it is. Take a picture, agree that that's the way this room is, the area is going to be. And you got to keep them, what's the word? The expectations that they know how it's going to be. On the other hand, their room and their area is theirs. So in my situation, I just expect that anything that's taken out is put back. That's all I say. Anything that you use is washed and put away. Everybody else's room is theirs. My room is my sanctuary. So the best advice I could give to you is to come together and do a little compromising. And those of you who are more like me and naturally want to get organized, don't nag. It's the worst thing that you could possibly do. Yeah. And you definitely have to, I learned that I have to pull back a little and accept that things are just not going to be perfectly organized. So that's the only way it's going to work.
Thanks, Debbie. I think what I can gather from that is, for you to start is with, especially with during this pandemic, even when everyone's living at home, is, really the power of compromise, but also understanding each other's boundaries, right? To really, which is the essence of compromise. So thank you for that, Debbie. How about, let me jump over to Kania. Do you have what was it like for your, your husband and also your kids and your friends, and any tips as well?
Well, since I don't do this professionally, so I don't really control or give advice to other people besides my own family. Thank God. But in the first 5 years of my daughter is here. The first 5 years of my marriage, it was really tough because my mother-in-law is quite of a hoarder. She has so many stuff that she keeps for years that she don't use. So my husband is used to that kind of life. So when we got married, the first 2 years was hell for me because his stuff is like piling up and like it was all over the place. And then shoes and undies and everything is like combined into one. And then I was like, oh my God, I cannot live like this. And so, but Debbie was right. It took a lot of compromising and toleration. And I told him that if we want to work this out, then we need to meet in the middle. That's what I told him. Yeah. So now that we've been married for like what, 8 years, I think. Now he started to like compromise with me. I told him like, I know you cannot be as organized as me. I know you cannot be as tidy as me, but I will put little compartments, like little boxes or little baskets in his area where he can put his stuff, like his keys, his coins, his books, his wallet. And now it's like working out. And then with my kids, like with the whole family, we have a little ritual every week and every month that I told my kids. Well, my daughter Lula, she's already used to this kind of routine. One of the things that we do at home is we have this simple rule: one in and one out. So if, say, she buys a new toy or a new book, then one book or one toy needs to go out. So the same goes with many things like clothing. If we buy clothes of like 2 pieces of tops and then 2 pieces of other things has to go out from the wardrobe. Because I told them that if you cannot be as tidy, then you need to have less stuff. Because if you have less stuff, it is much easier to manage than to have more stuff that you have no idea what to do with. Yeah. And then the other thing that we do is we have a ritual that we like. I actually do this more often than others. I carry a plastic what do you call it? A trash bag, that big, I carry around a trash bag around the house, and then I just chuck it in whatever that I need to throw out. Sometimes I ask my husband, sometimes I don't. So, but most of the time, of course, I ask him like, do you still need this? Like, and he goes like, I don't think so. Okay, go. So that's what we do every week. And I try to do that constantly with my kids. So they also know that we don't need much stuff and we cannot be a hoarder. It's so unhealthy, and it's so it's just easier to manage with less stuff. Yeah.
Wow, love that. I love how, you were able to also kind of make it a family activity almost, like you said, that weekly clean up with the trash bag with your kids.
Yeah, well, we need
and your
to
husband.
Because while my kids are still small, I mean, they're
Yeah.
still small, and then I think the first 10 years is the most instrumental years for us to like shape their characters and their good habits, because I believe good habits will lead a better lifestyle for them. And if we don't like show it to them, they won't know.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much, Connie, for sharing that. I think I'm also taking mental notes myself because, just I guess a little story for me, my family as well. This whole pandemic has been quite challenging for us because we're a family of 7. So it's a lot of people in a house. I'm the youngest out of 7 siblings. So it's great that, I'm getting all these tips. And, to our audience, if you have any other questions, I see that there are already some questions that we'll address later on in the Q&A. So if you have any questions, go to America's social media, ask away, and even in the chat box, feel free to do so. We'll discuss it later during the audience Q&A. So I guess jumping back into the discussion, earlier on, Kanya mentioned about how, she was able to do certain compromises about 1 in, 1 out, 2 things in, 2 things out, and, about creating it as if it's, cleaning up and living an organized life as a family activity. I'd like to pick more about Debbie's experience in your work with A Life Better Organized. Do you have any success stories or memorable experiences of those types of compromises that you implemented with your clients, and any fun stories that you'd like to share?
Okay, I have to say there's nothing usually fun. I mean, yes, I try and make it fun.
Yeah, frankly, yeah.
But the truth is that every experience is different, and every client, depending on what it is that you're doing. I mean, I could go in and reorganize somebody's pantry or closet with bins and systems and baskets and just make it look good for them and functional, because it hasn't been that way. But my business is a lot of people that it's a necessity that they reach out to an organizer for situations of hoarding, or that there's too much stuff, as Kanya said. And I learned one thing about this, that it is so difficult for people to let go of things. And when I'm working with them, I don't ask them, do they love it, or, does it bring them happiness? I don't really ask them that, but I definitely ask them if there's a purpose for it. And, if they have collections of whatever, dolls or statues or whatever that is, I don't ask them to get rid of it, but I do ask them to, to display it if they really like it. And it's a very difficult situation. A lot of times when I'm doing these clients decluttering, it's not always fun. It's actually sad in those types of situations. And with my experience, the best part and the most rewarding out of all of it is at the end, when these people just never knew what it was like to live with less stuff. Whether they're, what Kanya was saying, that, I try to explain to them about donating some of their stuff, because somebody else will find a purpose for it. If they don't, it doesn't need to just hang around. So I would say every experience is different. Every client situation is different. Organizing, it's it's a whole scope of things. Like I said, it could be organizing just the simplest little thing and helping somebody out with systems. And then it's the flip side where it is a total necessity for people to have to reach out to you and get some help, to help them declutter, whether they're hoarding or just have way too much stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's interesting that you mentioned about how you notice from your clients that most of them find it difficult to compromise and live an organized life because of the memories that these items that they keep carry, and it's difficult to let go of those memories, of course. So in relations to that, I noticed that in a life, but you mentioned on how in a life better organized, you also help in major life transitions in your clients, from whether if it's, they just got married, or perhaps they just got a divorce, or they just moved from one place to another. I think that is something that is very rare and valuable. And I'd like to applaud you and, a life better organized for emphasizing that. That's very important. So I wanted to know why is it important for you and for a life better organized to assist your clients during these life transitions, and why is it important?
Well, for one thing, it's very difficult, and people don't really even understand that much, or they think they understand what a professional organizer is. And we don't just, like I explained, we don't just come in and play with your stuff and clean it up and move it around. And with these life transitions that people go through, whether it's, a senior who's downsizing to assisted living, and they're leaving a home that they've been in with all their stuff, it's so difficult for them to do this on their own. So they need people like us. And somebody that's going through a divorce, there's so much paperwork involved with that, and they just don't have the energy to go through all this stuff, especially if they're being, pushed and they have to move, or people that are merging families and they need space. So we're there to help them, as well, find space and put in systems so that they, start off organized and they have these systems. And then there's, I have a lot of clients that are new moms, and they are so overwhelmed, especially if they have other children, that they need our help. They're transitioning through all that emotional and stuff. And, we come in and, try and help them to, get their, rooms and everything organized and working for them. So it's not, just all thrown around. And I just find it, so rewarding to help people with these transitions, because for one thing, they don't even realize they could reach out to a professional organizer for this. So that's, I get very emotional when I talk about it.
Oh, that's okay.
Sorry.
Just shows your passion for this, because it's really important. It really is.
It is.
It is. Thank you so much, Debbie, for sharing that. And
you're welcome.
It's in I think that's one of the things that we can, learn from Debbie, and also the US in general, is that culture of living an organized life and having a professional organizer at hand is really already ingrained and a part of the culture of the US. Meanwhile, in Indonesia, I think we're still, it's not as much of a established culture here, even though there are people who are naturally kind of, like to organize, kind of like Hania. Exactly. So, but I think that's a difference that we can learn from, and, that we can emphasize here. And, I guess jumping to Kania is someone who, who has that passion, right? Someone who has a passion for your home and for living an organized life, and how that affects your mental health stability as well, as you said beforehand. Absolutely. And how, right? And I think that is very correlated. And Kanye eventually established Chic and Darling, right, in 2013, and you managed to transform it into a hub. I think, one of the first hubs in Indonesia for people's home appliances and really living a more mindful life for your mental health in your home. And I noticed that Chic and Darling also recently released a gratitude journal, if I'm not mistaken, right? A journal for a person to really write down their thoughts and to perhaps live a better organized life, to help them live a better organized life. So I'd like to pick Kanya's mind a little bit more about that journal and about Chic and Darling, and why is, that journal important for, or maybe, to just write down your notes. Does it actually help? Do you think it helps with living a more organized life?
Okay. Thanks for that question. That means a lot to me, that question.
Yeah.
The gratitude journal that we launched last year in August, I think, it has been a massive bestseller. We didn't originally make planners, but we started doing mom journals, which I don't have it here. We still produce that, but that was a massive bestseller. But more people need a planner or need an organizer that is more generic, that anyone can use from many ages, right? So we decided to do this planner, which we called Life, Dreams, Blessing. And this journal, what is interesting about this journal is not only it has the weekly and daily and monthly planning, but it has a lot of tools to help us be more organized, and not just that, but a bit more mindful. For example, is it okay if I go a little bit into the pages that one of my favorite pages?
Of course, yeah, would like to take a peek.
Yeah, because I'm passionate about decluttering spaces, and I didn't even, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't even realize I was passionate about it until just recently, because I've always been that way. So now that we're on trend, might as well, okay, let's jump into the bandwagon. There's a page here. It says that is a decluttering list where we help people to what can you do daily, and what you can do weekly, and what you can do monthly and seasonal. So as I said, sometimes people don't know where to start, right? They know they need help, but they don't know where to start. So this page kind of helped them to okay, what can I do today at least? And we also do this page, shopping ethically. So this kind of helped people to determine whether they need it or they want it. Because if they just want it, that'll pile up, And then, but if you really need it, then why? Why do you need it? And then we ask people this sort of questions so they can follow their intuition whether they really need it or not. And there are many forms here that are interesting that I don't find it anywhere else, because I personally designed this organizer because I need it myself and I couldn't find it anywhere in the market. There was this brand, which is a favorite of mine. I don't know if you know Kiki K. He's from Sweden. But they don't have the same thing that we designed. And then so we're okay, then this is good, because if I need it, then probably many moms or many people out there need it. And so this book, since we launched it, it has been, well, they say from the testimonials, they've been very helpful. And then not only that, the days that they write in a day, there's this little column. It says that you can fill in that what makes you grateful today. So say if you're busy in a day, you're very hectic, but we want to help you think just one thing that makes you feel happy or makes you feel grateful today. So if there's something that upsets you and then something that didn't go right, at least if you are reminded that there's one thing that is right, it makes you kind of feel better at the end of the day, and then that you can sleep well, and then tomorrow you can start again. So yeah, and this has been a life-changing for me and a lot of my friends and many customers, and we ship worldwide, and it comes in 2 covers, pink, dusty pink, and navy blue. I personally love navy blue because it's just my personal color. And and then we do all sorts of stuff too, like calendars and notebooks. But anyway, from the history at the beginning, yes, I started this business from my home garage. If I can take you back a little bit, when I gave birth to my firstborn, I went through a postpartum depression for a year. I don't know if you know that. It's a little bit worse than baby blues. I thought I thought I wouldn't make it, and my doctor told me that you need to do something from your home that can make you, creative again. So I started making things from my home, from making throw pillows, making napkins, making DIY, whatever that I could find in the house. And then basically just using it for myself. But then when friends came over or family came over, they liked it. And then that's when I started selling it. And then little did I know, it led me to today.
Hey, that's great.
Good for you, Kanya.
Good for you, Kanya, and also Debbie. Thank you so much for opening up about about your history and how it all kind of correlates with Chic and Darling and your postpartum depression and really just everything. I applaud you for that, and also for Debbie. Thank you both so much for all the work and that you do, and it all it's kind of just it's great because it's natural to you both, right? It's your passion. It's how you've lived your life so far until now, but you're just spreading the gospel to all the people about how about how you're living a more organized life for your home, but also for your soul. So that's great. And I think now I'm gonna stop talking for a little bit, and we can get to answering the questions that we have from our audience. We have a few questions here. I think we can start with the first one. Ooh, I think this is very relevant, especially in Indonesia right now, because we're approaching Ramadan season, right? All the hampers and the gifts are coming, and even in Christmas or just all year round, really. But in Indonesia specifically right now, we're getting a lot of packages and a lot of gifts. So a question from Nadia, our audience, is how do you deal when you receive gifts from people, right? There's always, I relate to that a lot. There's always that sense of guilt of like, there's a lot of gifts here. Maybe we can start with Debbie. How have you kind of helped your clients dealing with gifts?
Okay, well, first of all, I just want to say that you don't have to keep anything that you don't want to. I really think that there's other people out there that you could donate it to. It doesn't need to take up any space of yours. And you really shouldn't, feel guilty. And as far as, I'm not familiar with all those gifts, but, as far as, maybe Christmas goes, when everybody piles on all this stuff, again, you have to be mindful and intentional about what you're bringing into your home. Otherwise, everything that you've let go, now you're refilling it with just stuff. And nobody really needs to have that much stuff. I mean, I'm also not going to say that they shouldn't if they want to have every little thing, but I just think that it comes a point where it's just not healthy to be surrounded by stuff that doesn't even serve a purpose to you. So I would definitely celebrate the holiday and exchange gifts and get gifts. And then in the end, decide what you really, really want to keep and the rest donate to other people or regift. That'll keep, the level of stuff down. And don't feel guilty.
Yes, I think that feeling of guilt is that, just that one chink that we need to.
Right. And there's a lot of people that
overcome
feel that way, like, oh, my grandmother gave me that, or, but you know what, let me just say, I do tell this a lot of times when it's clothes or something that people want to hang on to. I tell them to have a marinate box, which I do with like clothes that I say, hey, I'm going to, lose weight and fit into those, or, hey,
guilty. Yeah,
exactly. And I think that if you let it marinate and sit for, 2 to 6 months, whatever it is, if you go back to it and you still feel the same way, then it's gone. Just get rid of it because it's not serving any purpose. And I mean, I have I'm guilty of it as well. I mean, just because I know I'm not supposed to have a lot of that stuff, I'm guilty. So if you get stuff in and you feel guilty, whether it's a gift or, somebody made it for you or something like that, if it's not really something that you want, it's not serving your purpose, then, and you feel guilty, put it in a marinate box where it's going to just sit there and wait until, 3, 4, 5 months for you to make a decision on, and then be intentional.
Agreed. I'm going to start. Yeah, I'm going to start doing that as well. I'm going to have a marinade box soon during this pandemic. How about Kanya? Do you have anything to add to that? How to deal with gifts?
Yeah, it's been overwhelming this Ramadan, but I'm a little bit more ruthless because I don't live in a big space. I don't live in a big space. We are trying to manage this, this small house that we have as the best we can. So can you imagine in a day during this Ramadan, the package that I receive can be up to 10 packages
per day.
And 5 is the minimum, 10 is the max. And not that I'm not grateful, I'm very, very grateful for all the attention, for all the love that is, showered to my family. But now I told people, I don't think I can receive any more food or, stuff that is more like a decoration. If you do want to help, if you do want to send us something, because me and my family and me and my husband has been doing charitable work since 11 of April. We're gathering donations for the COVID workers and for people who are directly impacted by the COVID-19. And so people know that we've been actively doing this every week. So I told them that if you want to send something to my house, why don't you send your donation instead in cash, so we can donate it more to other people by shopping for basic necessities, for giving them money, and for shopping for protection wear. So so that I did since last week. And the second one is every time whether there's still stuff coming in, I immediately just give out to neighbors, to the security people, to the cleaning services that works in my neighborhood, or give it to my workers, and then I just immediately distribute as fast as I can, so it just doesn't pile up. I will keep very small amount, because it's my appreciation to whoever sent it to me, but that I will make sure that I will definitely consume it, whether it's a drink, whether it's coffee, or whether it's food, but just a very small amount, because I don't have space in my fridge in any way. So yeah.
Same.
That's what we do.
All right. Thanks, Debbie and Kanya, for the tips. Maybe there's going to be that feeling of guilt, guys, but just let it sink in for a bit. Think about your space, right? And perhaps, like what Debbie and Kanya said, someone else might need it more than you. So you never know. So you can always donate it to someone else. All right. Let's move on to the next question. This is from Tiara. Tiara is asking about the journey of, decluttering, and how sometimes people, during that journey, they might feel discouraged and they, end up just giving up and, whatever, I'll just leave this all here. And do you both have any tips on how to deal with clutter rebound, so to speak? Maybe we can start with Debbie again. Do you have any tips for that?
Yes. Well, first of all, you really have to, if you really want to focus in on decluttering a lot, or if there's too much, you have to do it in chunks. Start small, whether maybe it's a drawer. Start with a drawer, take everything out, go through all the stuff, put it back in, the stuff that you want to keep. And then as you build, up the motivation and how good it feels, then you're able to tackle bigger projects. But do not take on an entire home or room all at once if it's overwhelming to you. It will be overwhelming to you. You have to start small. Do it in chunks. Don't do it for one little chunk a day, if that's what you want to do, because people will fail if they and get discouraged and totally throw in the towel if they start too big. Just, like she said, she was, starting to get overwhelmed. So my advice is small chunks and work your way up. And carry around a garbage bag.
Have it with you at all times. Small. Exactly. Start small, people. Love that tip. I'm going to implement that as well. How about you, Kania? Anything to add?
That also applies to me, actually. At work, at the office, we have a little signs everywhere in the office that says one of the things, there are points there. And one of the things that I set there is, before you start your day or before you start working or opening up your laptop, you need to manage your desk first. So make sure, like, the first focus that you do in the morning is make sure your desk is tidy. You don't have stuff, you don't have trash, you don't have junks, you don't have like messy things, knickknacks all over. Make sure that is like taken care first, and then you can start working. Because I believe, like Debbie, is you start simple, and then if you cannot even manage that little tiny space or even little tiny corner, let alone move to a bigger project, because it's going to be even more hassle, it's more complicated. So for me, I like to personally start with my desk. Now that I'm working from home, I start with my desk at home. As you can see, that is my tiny desk. And it works for me because I don't have much stuff. And this is my husband's desk, which I do it every 2 days. And it just brings me joy to see that everything is in place. He doesn't have any, we don't have any junk in the table, and everything is just on their right places. And I think start small, start simple, start within your reach, and don't overthink it. Just do it, and then don't be ruthless about the things that doesn't serve you any purpose. Throw it away.
Yes, I felt that, Kania. Yes, that's a good one. I like that. Start small. Slow progress is still progress. So just keep it up. Don't overthink it. And
that was a good one, Esther.
That was a really good one. Slow progress is still progress, guys. All right. Next question. This one is from social media, actually. We have a question especially for Debbie this time. One of our audience members would like to know your tips on how to organize tiny items, tiny essential items such as keys, wallets, tiny purses, on how to, organize them in your space. Do you have any tips for that?
Well, if those are items that you're talking about that you're taking every day, sunglasses, like they mentioned, keys, if that's what they're talking about, then an entryway or wherever it is that you come and go from. I don't know how the houses or the living spaces with you, but we have here most people have a mud room or a garage or a spot where they walk into the kitchen, and they put, it doesn't even matter what you put, even if it's just a bowl. You could put a bowl there and put your keys in there and your wallet in there and your sunglasses in there. But the idea is to contain it in one spot so that it belongs there, and that's where it goes. That's it. It's the only way that it's going to work, that you won't lose something, that that it's there. So, again, it could be a bowl, it could be a little bin, but put it where you come in the morning, where you leave, where you come back at night, and just you can put everything in there. You don't even have to divide it up. Just put it all in there. Keep it contained, like with like.
Like with like. Love that. Just keep it. Yeah. Start small. Start small with the small things, and eventually you'll get the hang of it. Thank you, Debbie, for that. Let's move on to, suddenly there are lots of questions coming up here from social media and also the chat. Unfortunately, I think I will only be able to entertain one more question because of the lack of time. Sorry to our fellow audience members and those in social media. But I think one last question that we can address, and I hope both Debbie and Kanye can answer, is a question from our audience in social media. How long do you think is the ideal process of decluttering? Personally, I think it's, kind of non-linear almost, but I'd like to know a little bit more from Debbie and Kanye. What are your thoughts on, is there do you have a specific schedule on how to organize every day? Or maybe we can start with Kanye.
To declutter, I just do every day, but small. I don't do big things every day. I just do small. But I mentioned earlier, we do have a schedule of donating a lot of stuff every 2 to 3 months. So every stuff that is new, we will take out the same amount of the same amount that is new. So it's like equal. And then we wait until it's like one box, and then we donate it. So that usually take around 2 months to do. But here with my kids, we do it on a weekly basis where we just go around the house with a bin, with a big plastic bag, and then they will decide like that doesn't, they don't need it anymore, or just like a paper that they just draw on, but it's just a scribble that they don't want to keep, or pieces of toys that are broken. Sometimes it's like you can find it in the corner of the house, throw it away. But that consciousness needs to come from them, not from me. So I will always tell them to, like, I will always ask them, like, you need to decide, because I cannot decide for you. So yeah, that ritual we do almost every week, and it is a fun thing to do because it's a family activity, and we get to we get to practice decluttering together, and then the kids are more conscious about it now. And especially Lula, my firstborn, she's more conscious. She will tell her brother, like, you don't need that anymore. Like, that should go to the bin.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's ruthless now. But I told her, like, it's not like we don't appreciate your things. It's not like you don't appreciate your stuff. It's actually practicing on being more mindful on what you need, what serves you a purpose, what actually is functional. So next time, if you buy something new, you know that you do need it or you don't need it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what we do. It's just easy for now.
That's
for
great.
my
I love how you put it, as if it's about practicing to be mindful as well, mindful of your space, mindful of your budget, right? I think that will affect that as well eventually. So that's a really great tip. How about you, Debbie? Anything to add?
Yes, I just want to just say this one thing. Decluttering and organizing are two different things, okay? In answering to that question, decluttering is getting rid of what doesn't serve a purpose, what you no longer need. Organizing is taking the stuff that you want and love and use and putting it in its own place and having a home for it all the time. The other thing is that you could keep decluttering and getting rid of excess and doing that. But organizing in itself is, how do they say? It's a journey and not a destination. So even for myself, it's you always have to organize. You always have to make sure that everything is in its place. It's the exact same thing is when you mop your floors, or you clean up your home. It will get dirty again. So it's a continuous thing. It's not, hey, I'm organized and you're done. It's not, hey, I'm decluttered. Because things are still going to come in. You still need to find it a home. You're having your holiday, Ramadan, whatever. So you're going to have to make a decision on that. So it's a constant thing. So in answer to that question, no, you're always going to declutter. You could declutter if you have so much an excess, you could bring it down to a manageable level, and then just again be mindful of it and don't let it get out of hand again. And it's ongoing. You're never going to be done. I'm not done. So I hope that it helps. I hope that's an answer to their question.
Brilliant. I think that was a brilliant answer. That is, I agree with you, Dib. It's a journey, right? It's never ending.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a part of your life. You will never stop decluttering and organizing. So I agree. I don't think we could have ended on a much better note than that. I think that basically just summed it all up. Summed it all up. Both answers from Kanye and Debbie and we're right on time as well with the end of our first session today. I think I personally learned a lot about, I love how Debbie at the end distinguished the difference between decluttering and organizing, and how, even though they're both different, they are both parallel to each other in your journey of living a more organized life. And I think we also learned a lot about how, we have to appreciate each other's boundaries whenever we're living with others, and we want to collectively live a better and a more organized life, especially during this pandemic, and how and there's that power of compromise. And so thank you once again, Debbie and Kanya, for, taking the time to really educate all of us on this session, Decluttering 101 for your home and your soul. And I'm sorry to our audience members
for having me.
Yes, of course. Hopefully we can, talk a little bit more in the future. And thank you to our audience members. Apologies that we can't answer all of your questions. But I hope you all learned something today.
You can send it to me on Instagram. I'll try and answer them.
There you go. I was about to say you can reach out. Yes, right. You can reach out to Debbie at A Life Better Organized on Instagram. Slide into her DMs. Go ahead, ask some questions, and also to Kanye on Instagram. So feel free to do that. And I think it's already quite late for Debbie, isn't it, Debbie?
Yes.
It's time to snooze. I think we can say goodbye to Debbie, and thank you again for coming here. And we'll move on to the next session.
Thanks again.
Thanks, Debbie.
Safe, everybody.
Take care.
So long.
All right.
Oh, I'm staying. Yeah.
Sure. Yes. I think we're gonna jump straight into the second session. And thank you, Kanye, for staying. And I'll also be here. We'll start the second session now with our third speaker for today, which is Mas Aang Hudaya. Mas Aang established Gemar Rapi, a community that promotes a specific tidying up method, kind of, so to speak, the Marie Kondo of Indonesia. And in September 2018, with his wife and his best friends. And this method is believed to be effective, systematic, and impactful for a more sustainable environment. Mas Aang actively takes part in Global Eco-Brick Alliance and passionately gets into zero waste and a minimalist lifestyle. Mas Aang believes that managing life starts small, as in from your bedroom. Love that. Bener banget, tadi itu sama dengan pelajaran-pelajaran and lessons that we learned from the first session, which is about starting small. Jadi selamat pagi menjelang siang, Mas Aang.
Halo pagi, Mbak.
Bisa kedengeran?
Sip.
Siap. Gimana Mas Aang? Mungkin aku mau mulai dulu dengan talk show sebentar ini dengan bagaimana sesi pertama tadi Mas Aang? Banyak dipelajarin mungkin?
Wow, iya, terutama dari Miss Debbie tadi ya seputar decluttering. Banyak sekali pengalamannya karena memang sudah cukup senior juga ya di decluttering. Termasuk tadi pengalaman dari Mbak Kania juga sangat menarik ya. Jurnal aktivitas berbenahnya.
Iya, benar-benar setuju saya. That's good, dan bagus nih Mas Aang juga tadi sempat ikut dari sesi pertama juga, jadi bisa belajar lebih dari Mbak Kania dan juga Debbie. Tapi sekarang saya mau tahu lebih juga nih tentang Gemar Rapi dan tentang Mas Aang. Mungkin Mas Aang bisa cerita sedikit tentang the origins origins of Gemar Rapi itu dari mana dan bagaimana prosesnya Mas Aang tuh untuk establish Gemar Rapi itu seperti apa, Mas Aang?
Iya, kami bermula di 2018 lalu di bulan September. Jadi memang sebelumnya kami mempelajari beberapa metode berbenah ya, termasuk salah satunya adalah metode KonMari. Kami mempraktekkan bersama teman-teman di komunitas. Tetapi seiring berjalannya waktu ternyata juga tidak semua hal ya cocok atau fit dengan kultur masyarakat di Indonesia itu. Sehingga memang perlu penyesuaian, sehingga kami coba meramu satu metode yang harapannya memang metode berbenah ini bisa diterapkan oleh siapapun. Misalkan dari semua kalangan, dari semua suku, semua gender, bahkan dari kalangan masyarakat ekonomi terbawah sekalipun bisa ketika ingin berbicara soal decluttering, ketika ingin berbicara soal bagaimana hidup yang berkesadaran, hidup yang sederhana, ya tentu mereka bisa nyaman dengan tempat tinggalnya. Bahkan ketika mereka tinggal di kos-kosan yang sempit sekalipun, mereka tetap bisa enjoy dengan tempat tinggalnya. Akhirnya ya muncullah Gemarapi dengan beberapa kekhasan ya metodenya seperti itu. Oke, saya coba tanpa headset. Lebih jelas?
Ya, Mas Aang, bisa lanjut.
Oke. Ya, itu jadi kalau berbicara yang khas memang Gemarapi ini kami menyusun dengan berbagai sudut pandang pendekatan ya. Jadi di luar soal penataan ruangan, soal decluttering secara umum, kami juga memang melakukan pendekatan dari aspek spiritual, kemudian aspek lingkungan, kesehatan, keamanan atau home safety. Jadi memang itu bagian terpenting karena itu adalah satu kesatuan yang harus ada di dalam rumah ya. Jadi ketika berbicara rumah yang rapi itu tidak cukup hanya sekedar rapi. Kita harus memastikan bahwa rumah kita itu aman. Kenapa? Karena konsep aman ini adalah syarat mutlak kalau penghuninya ingin merasa nyaman. Bisa dibayangkan kita tinggal di satu tempat tinggal yang begitu rapi, kinclong, bersih dengan barangkali dengan desain interior yang luar biasa. Tetapi ketika faktor keamanan tidak diperhatikan, atau misalkan ternyata kita sadar, oh ternyata ada sumber bahaya di salah satu tempat, nah itu tentu akan menimbulkan rasa was-was, akan menimbulkan rasa yang tidak nyaman. Sehingga memang harus satu kesatuan. Dan hari ini isu lingkungan menjadi sesuatu yang menjadi sorotan masyarakat banyak ya, sehingga selain soal tadi ya jangan sampai kita bersih di rumah, rapi di rumah, tapi setiap hari kita masih menghasilkan sesuatu keluar rumah kita ke lingkungan ya, sehingga diharapkan dalam seluruh proses aktivitas berbenah kita ya kita mengupayakan menggunakan bahan, menggunakan sesuatu yang memang ramah lingkungan. Kemudian memang ciri khas di Gemarapi nanti ketika aktivitas decluttering, dari seluruh barang yang kita keluarkan tidak ada satupun yang dibuang bahasanya, yang dimasukkan ke tempat sampah. Jadi semuanya kita manfaatkan semaksimal mungkin. Jadi prinsipnya minimalis untuk maksimalis pengoptimalan fungsi dari setiap barang yang kita miliki. Itu mungkin untuk pengantarnya Mbak Esta.
Waduh, keren banget Mas Aang. Keren banget Mas Aang. Saya dari pengantar aja saya udah belajar banyak tentang pendekatan Mas Aang dan Gemarapi untuk mendorong semua orang untuk lebih bersih dan lebih organized, lebih teratur hidupnya. Dan yang menurut aku sangat menarik sih tadi dari pengantar Mas Aang adalah aku pengertiannya adalah memang metode Gemarapi itu sangat holistis ya Mas Aang. Jadi benar-benar saya suka tadi Mas Aang bilang untuk nyaman, kan semua orang bilang kalau ruangan mereka itu teratur agar lebih nyaman. Tetapi untuk merasa lebih nyaman, kita juga harus merasa aman dengan lingkungan rumah kita sendiri dan juga the environment, lingkungan hidup kita juga harus dipikirkan dalam proses decluttering dan organizing ini. Jadi keren, saya tepuk tangan dulu untuk Mas Aang. Saya udah belajar banyak dari situ. Iya, dan mungkin saya mau tanya satu pertanyaan lagi dari aspek spiritualnya. Tadi Mas Aang bilang pendekatannya ini juga melalui pendekatan spiritual. Ini mungkin yang bisa dibilang ya kearifan Gemarapi dan benar-benar yang bikin Gemarapi unik ke Indonesia dan juga unik ke ya Gemarapi sendiri itu adalah itu. Mungkin Mas Aang bisa jelasin lebih lanjut tentang pendekatan spiritualnya itu seperti apa, Mas Aang?
Ya, baik Mbak. Jadi memang khususnya bagi yang Muslim, ini kan ketika berbicara tidying, berbicara decluttering, ini kan kita berbicara soal barang, berbicara soal harta. Dan kita yakin ya bahwasannya ya setiap harta yang kita miliki, setiap benda yang kita miliki ini pasti akan ada pertanggungjawabannya. Sehingga aktivitas decluttering ini menjadi salah satu jalan, menjadi salah satu cara bagi kita untuk memastikan bahwasannya setiap barang yang kita miliki betul-betul berguna dan memang betul-betul itu yang kita butuhkan, sehingga di hari kemudian itu akan meringankan beban kita. Dan ketika saya lihat di ajaran agama yang lain pun mengajarkan hal yang sama, artinya mengajarkan agar manusia itu hidup sederhana, bijak dengan segala sumber daya yang ada. Bahkan kalau misalkan kita lihat di ajaran teman-teman yang Buddha, wah itu luar biasa ya. Jadi bagaimana kesederhanaan hidup mereka, ya salah satunya adalah soal kepemilikan atas setiap sumber daya yang ada. Nah itu. Dan kalau digali lebih lanjut, memang ini sangat dalam kaitannya antara barang ya yang kita miliki dengan bagaimana nanti kehidupan kita di hari kemudian. Karena ya berbicara hari ini kita hidup rapi ya bukan hanya ketika kita hidup di dunia saja, tetapi tentu untuk next berikutnya juga kita akan mengalami satu fase yang sangat panjang seperti itu. Dan memang untuk Gemar Rapi juga ketika tema-tema di workshop, kemudian di seminar, kita juga biasanya mengisi dengan tema-tema yang berbeda. Misal ketika yang mengundang dari pesantren, dari masjid, ya tentu kita akan lebih menajamkan di aspek spiritualnya. Ketika misalkan disandingkan nih Gemar Rapi dengan dari aspek kesehatan, kita akan mempertajam dari aspek kesehatannya, pun dengan aspek finansial misal maupun aspek yang lainnya. Seperti itu Mbak Esta.
Keren. Itu I think that's salah satu pendekatan yang sangat penting sih Mas Aang, terutama di negara seperti Indonesia yang benar-benar sangat sangat peduli and really invested, sangat peduli dengan kepercayaan mereka, dan bagaimana itu semua tuh sebenarnya kembali lagi ke poin saya sebelumnya adalah holistis gitu. Hidup yang nyaman, hidup yang aman, hidup yang organized, bersih, teratur itu semua satu kesatuan. Jadi saya setuju banget dengan poin Mas Aang tadi. Dan mungkin sekarang kita bisa lanjut ke sesi tutorial. Saya dengar kita kali ini Mas Aang ada sedikit tutorial untuk kita semua bagaimana kita bisa hidup lebih teratur, terutama dari lagi masa pandemi ini kan ya, semua orang di rumah dan rame-ramean seperti saya di rumah rame banget dengan kakak-kakak dan keluarga saya. Mungkin sekarang kita bisa tahu belajar lebih dari Mas Aang nih, gimana sih cara-cara Gemar Rapi itu seperti apa?
Baik. Untuk sebelum masuk ke sesi tutorial, saya ingin memperlihatkan satu slide. Ini nanti adalah urutan atau tahapan ketika nanti kita ingin berbenah versi Gemar Rapi ya.
Siap.
Oke. Nah ini sudah muncul ya?
Sudah.
Ya. Jadi di Gemar Rapi ketika kita ingin memulai aktivitas berbenah atau decluttering, jadi memang decluttering atau aktivitas pemilahan itu justru ada di urutan keempat. Jadi masih sangat panjang proses kita untuk menuju ke aktivitas decluttering. Nah kalau di Gemar Rapi ini kita selalu mengawali dengan aktivitas ya kita mengisi jurnal ya. Jadi di Gemar Rapi ada jurnal berbenah. Biasanya kalau teman-teman yang mengikuti kegiatan workshop atau kelas intensif online itu kita fasilitasi dengan jurnal yang nanti akan mereka isi. Nah di awal memang yang perlu diisi ini adalah mereka akan menuliskan impian. Sebetulnya apa sih yang diimpikan dengan rumah yang nyaman, dengan rumah yang rapi, bersih, sebetulnya apa yang ingin dicapai. Ini penting karena ini akan menjadi strong why, akan menjadi alasan kuat kenapa kita harus berbenah, kenapa rumah kita harus rapi, kenapa rumah kita harus bersih. Dan ini akan menjadi energi untuk mereka. Kemudian tuliskan juga kondisi rumah saat ini, misal di dapur sangat banyak barang-barang peralatan dapur, kemudian di ruangan tertentu
ruangannya agak gelap, silahkan dituliskan semua kondisi rumah yang ada hari ini. Termasuk tujuan, apa yang menjadi tujuan, apa yang menjadi alasan kita berbenah, dan terakhir adalah motivasi. Siapa yang membuat kita termotivasi untuk berbenah? Misal, apakah anak, pasangan, orang tua, dan lain sebagainya. Kemudian setelah itu dituliskan, dan ini memang dituliskan bersama. Jadi kalau yang sudah berumah tangga, ini dituliskan dengan pasangannya, dengan anak-anaknya, disepakati bersama. Apa yang menjadi impian bersama, apa yang menjadi tujuan, dan seterusnya. Setelah itu, kemudian kita baru menentukan urutan berbenahnya. Nanti kalau di Gemar Rapi ada urutan berbenahnya, kita akan mulai dari mana, ya. Setelah itu urutan-urutan tersebut ya sesuai kategori, kemudian kita masukkan ke dalam jadwal. Nah, ini memang penting kita ikat dengan jadwal, karena kalau tidak dibuatkan jadwal biasanya ya sudah nunggu waktu luang aja, itu pun ya kalau nanti moodnya lagi bagus ya. Tapi memang dibuatkan jadwal, dan ini menjadi kesepakatan satu keluarga ya. Setelah itu ketika kita tiba di jadwal yang dimaksud, barulah kita memulai dengan aktivitas memilah atau decluttering. Kita siapkan semua perlengkapan yang dibutuhkan, dan barulah kita mulai memilah. Nah, untuk memilah sendiri, ini saya coba tutorialkan, tapi mudah-mudahan suara saya tetap terdengar. Oke. Oke. Masih kedengeran nggak ya?
Masih, Mas Ang. Aman.
Masih ya?
Iya.
Oke, soalnya kan nanti agak jauh nih. Jadi misal saya akan mulai dengan kategori pakaian ya. Nah, kenapa pakaian? Ya ini barang yang paling mudah saya bawa ya. Jadi tekniknya memang setelah kita siap, jadi dipastikan di hari H tersebut kita dan keluarga sudah mandi supaya fresh, sudah sarapan, kemudian gunakan waktu terbaik antara pagi hingga siang hari. Nah, pertama kita keluarkan seluruh barang yang kita miliki, misal pakaian ini. Keluarkan, kemudian tumpuk jadi satu berdasarkan pemiliknya. Karena nanti yang akan memilah adalah pemiliknya masing-masing. Ini khusus untuk barang pribadi. Ya. Iya. Karena kan yang tahu, yang bisa memutuskan saya butuh, saya masih perlu atau enggak, ya pasti pemiliknya. Ya kecuali anak-anak yang masih bayi ya tentu enggak bisa kita paksakan untuk memilih sendiri gitu. Nah, kemudian ini keluarkan seluruhnya, jangan sampai ada yang tersisa. Karena ini akan salah satunya akan memberikan efek shock terapi ya. Ternyata banyak sekali pakaian yang kita miliki. Kemudian jadi satu, setelah itu kita siapkan 6 wadah penyimpanan sementara. Nah, 6 wadah ini yang pertama adalah untuk barang yang akan kita simpan, yang akan kita miliki. Yang kedua adalah barang yang akan kita jual. Nah, ini orang Indonesia kan memang ya selama barangnya masih bernilai ya nggak apa-apa dijual, itu silahkan. Yang ketiga adalah barang yang ingin kita donasikan, yang ingin kita sumbangkan ke siapapun yang membutuhkan. Poin pentingnya ke siapapun yang membutuhkan. Jangan sekedar memberikan kepada orang yang menginginkan. Kenapa? Karena belum tentu orang itu butuh. Kalau hanya memberikan kepada yang menginginkan, itu sama saja dengan kita hanya sekedar memindahkan masalah dari rumah kita ke tempat yang lain. Nah, itu yang ketiga. Kemudian yang keempat adalah wadah untuk barang yang ingin kita alihfungsikan. Repurpose ya, alihfungsikan. Misalkan pakaian yang sudah sobek jadi keset. Repurpose ini relatif tidak membutuhkan proses yang rumit, yang panjang, yang memerlukan peralatan. Kemudian yang kelima adalah wadah untuk menyimpan barang yang akan kita daur ulang, recycle. Recycle umumnya dilakukan ya oleh orang lain, oleh pihak lain. Kemudian terakhir, nah ini terakhir adalah kotak atau wadah untuk menyimpan barang yang memang ternyata memiliki nilai kenangan, sentimental items. Ini kita sisihkan dulu, karena jangan sampai kita menghabiskan waktu berjam-jam hanya untuk memikirkan barang ini mau disimpan atau enggak. Karena sentimental items ini memang perlu treatment tersendiri. Jadi kita sisihkan kotak nomor 6. Jadi seperti itu. Oke, saya mundurkan lagi ya biar kelihatan ya. Jadi misal, oke, nggak apa-apa. Kita ambil satu pakaian misal ya. Ini langsung kita cek. Kita masih butuh nggak dengan pakaian ini? Yang pertama ya tentu harus kita perkirakan pakaian ini masih muat nggak sama kita, ya. Karena bisa jadi butuh tapi ternyata pakaiannya udah nggak muat, ya berarti udah nggak bisa kita gunakan. Ya kecuali kalau mau dipermak ya. Jadi ambil satu baju, oh pakaiannya masih muat. Nah kalau ternyata masih muat, berarti ada kemungkinan pakaian tersebut masih kita butuhkan. Nah, memang khusus untuk pakaian, memang ini harus ada indikator barang tersebut, pakaian tersebut kita sukai, ya, atau faktor joy. Tapi ini hanya berlaku untuk pakaian kalau di Gemar Rapi. Kenapa? Karena pakaian tidak cukup hanya sekedar pakaian ini cukup kita gunakan muat. Tapi kalau nggak kita sukai, biasanya kan ya kita nggak akan nyaman pakainya, nggak pede, nggak percaya diri. Tapi beda dengan kategori barang yang lain. Misal ulekan atau obeng. Obengnya sudah agak berkarat, aku udah nggak suka, udah nggak nyaman liatnya, ya nggak bisa.
Iya.
Ya, sehingga kembalikan kepada fungsinya. Tapi fungsi pakaian kita masih memberikan indikator senang atau suka terhadap barang tersebut. Jadi kalau muat, kemudian suka, silakan simpan. Ambil lagi misal muat tapi nggak suka. Nah ini. Gimana? Kalau Mbak Esta gimana? Kalau ada pakaian yang udah nggak muat nih, tapi masih suka, kira-kira mau disimpan nggak?
Waduh, itu saya sering banget tuh Mas Angge gitu. Oh udahlah, nanti bentar lagi turun 10 kilo kok. Pasti muat kok, disimpan gitu kan. Aku mikirnya itu sebagai sumber motivasi kadang-kadang. Nah, itu gimana tuh Mas Ang?
Ya, nah untuk pakaian yang udah nggak muat tapi kita suka, memang ya harus kita relakan, ya kecuali ya misalkan ya nanti pakaiannya mau diperbaiki, disesuaikan dengan ukuran tubuh kita, ya silakan. Tapi biasanya ya ini terutama ketika kami mengisi workshop Gemar Rapi atau seminar, ketika kita tanyakan yang seperti, ya Mas nanti siapa tahu langsing lagi, pakaiannya bisa digunakan lagi gitu. Tapi ya sebagian besar ya tetap saja tidak akan bisa digunakan gitu ya. Jadi seperti ini sebaiknya disisihkan. Mau dijual boleh, mau didonasikan silakan, tergantung kondisi pakaian. Nah kemudian ambil lagi misalkan ada satu kategori dia masih muat, tapi kitanya udah gak suka. Nah ini boleh disimpan nggak kira-kira?
Aduh. Tapi kembali ke faktor joy dan sentimental value itu enggak. Ya. Saya pikir enggak. Enggak ya Mas? Atau iya?
Misalkan masih muat tapi kitanya nggak suka, ini ya pasti harus keluar juga. Tapi ternyata bagi sebagian orang yang seperti ini pun masih disimpan. Bahkan yang kategori yang kedua tadi pun masih disimpan. Kenapa? Ya, karena mereka luput untuk mengecek kondisi pakaian kita satu persatu. Ya. Sehingga ya fungsinya total decluttering, memilah secara total ini, ya ini kita bisa memastikan fungsi kondisi setiap barang itu seperti apa. Nah, kemudian tadi sebetulnya kalaupun ada faktor suka, pakaiannya udah nggak muat, kita boleh melihat ke satu faktor. Kira-kira sukanya ini karena apa? Kalau ada faktor sentimental, nggak apa-apa, boleh disisihkan dulu di kotak nomor 6. Karena nanti kalau sudah jadi sentimental items, fungsinya akan bergeser dari sekedar benda pakai, fungsional value menjadi ya sentimental items, barang-barang yang memiliki nilai kenangan. Nah itu, kemudian ambil lagi, misalkan ada nih kategorinya udah nggak muat, nggak kita sukai. Ini bisa jadi ada loh di lemari kita. Ya tapi kadang selama ini kan kalau kita mau bilang cuma sekedar ya udah buka lemarinya, kemudian kayaknya ini deh. Jadi hanya sekedar perkiraan, tidak kita memastikan dengan sedetail-detailnya. Nah itu kita lakukan ke seluruh pakaian kita, termasuk kayak kaos kaki, pakaian dalam, kemudian pakaian pelengkap dan semuanya sampai habis. Biasanya memang yang terjadi setelah kita memilah, ternyata yang tadi masuk ke kotak nomor 1 itu masih banyak jumlahnya.
Iya.
Nah, disinilah kuncinya. Maka kita masuk ke indikator kunci, yaitu kita simpan sesuai kebutuhan. Meskipun tadi indikator pertama masih muat, kemudian kita sukai, tapi kalau jumlahnya masih berlebih, maka kurangi lagi sampai sesuai dengan kebutuhan kita. Nah, PR berikutnya adalah sebetulnya seberapa banyak barang yang kita butuhkan. Ini sebagian besar orang, ini pengalaman dari kami ketika mengisi seminar, kelas online, workshop, mayoritas tidak bisa menjawab. Aduh mas, saya nggak tahu berapa banyak, misalkan atasan yang harus saya simpan, berapa banyak celana yang harus saya simpan. Karena nggak tahu. Kenapa? Karena boleh jadi selama ini kita membeli barang, mendatangkan barang, memiliki barang bukan karena kebutuhan, tapi karena ya saya yakin semuanya bisa menjawab. Ya. Gaya hidup, ya, kemudian mode, kemudian wah teman saya sudah punya, kok saya belum. Artis idola saya sudah punya, saya belum. Ya. Lagi diskon gitu ya.
Aduh, lagi diskon.
Dapat celana, wow pasti tertarik banget kan?
Iya, langsung.
Jadi karena tidak biasa berdasarkan kebutuhan, sehingga wajar ketika ditanya kebutuhan, akhirnya kita kesulitan untuk menentukan berapa potong sih yang harus kita miliki, berapa banyak, berapa pasang, dan seterusnya. Sehingga di awal yang paling penting adalah kita harus memahami, mengetahui seberapa banyak kebutuhan kita. Dalam konteks yang lebih dalam, sebetulnya kita mulai belajar mengenali diri kita sendiri. Di situ kuncinya. Nah,
betul.
Kadang kan untuk yang tidak terbiasa sulit. Nah, aktivitas decluttering total ini menjadi sarana bagi kita untuk belajar. Oh, mungkin di awal ketika setelah mensortir, kita nggak langsung mengetahui secara kuantiti, tapi mungkin kayaknya nyimpen pakaian segini cukup deh, ya. Nah, mungkin di awal nggak langsung jumlah, tapi dari situ kita mulai sadar, oh ternyata cukup dengan sekian, kayaknya cukup deh kita menyimpan pakaian. Pun dengan kategori barang yang lain. Tapi bedanya memang untuk barang yang lain tidak perlu ada faktor masih kita sukai. Masih suka ini memang khusus untuk barang yang sudah kita miliki. Tetapi ketika nanti membeli barang yang baru, ya tentu belilah barang yang berkualitas dan kita sukai. Sehingga kalau dua-duanya ini ada, barangnya tahan lama dan kita pun ya akan terus suka gitu kan. Problemnya kan kalau kita membeli barang hanya berdasarkan harga, hanya berdasarkan diskon misal, ternyata ya kualitasnya pun nggak seberapa, dan kita pun biasanya kalau yang muncul karena hanya keinginan itu nggak bertahan lama. Namanya keinginan itu ketika keinginannya terpenuhi, mungkin sebulan, 2 bulan, setahun itu bosan, ganti dengan yang baru. Ya, sama misalkan dengan cat rumah, dengan furniture, karena memang bukan berdasarkan kebutuhan, ya. Ketika bosan ya sudah ganti, ketika bosan ganti. Nah itu seperti barangkali itu yang bisa sedikit ditutorialkan, karena memang kalau online seperti ini agak terbatas area pandang kita. Kalau workshop biasanya itu peserta sampai membawa pakaian satu koper, membawa peralatan, membawa box dan lain-lain. Nah, seru sih kalau workshop ya.
Waduh, saya tepuk tangan dulu deh nih. Saya tepuk tangan dulu buat Mas Ang. Saya belajar banyak loh Mas, walaupun tadi saya jadi penasaran, wah kalau PSBB dan pandemi sudah reda, saya ikut ya Mas workshop Gemar Api saya akan ikut sih. Saya perlu banget tuh kayaknya, apalagi tadi pas Mas Ang bilang kita proses membenah dan agar hidup kita lebih teratur, itu memang mengenal diri sendiri ya dalam proses itu, melihat baju kita, peralatan-peralatan kita, dan kita jadi mengenal apa yang kita inginkan dan apa yang sebenarnya kita butuhkan di kehidupan kita. Itu menurut kena banget tuh Mas Ang nih saya. Jadi benar-benar, dan semoga semua audiens di sini juga merasakan itu juga, belajar itu. Sayangnya ini sebenarnya ada beberapa pertanyaan nih dari audiens kita, tetapi kita sudah tidak ada waktu, nggak kerasa waktunya udah habis. Tapi semoga audiens kita belajar banyak dari sesi dengan Mas Ang ya. Saya sendiri sih belajar banyak tadi, seperti yang saya udah jelaskan dari poin-poin tadi yang kepentingan untuk mengenal diri sendiri dalam proses pembenahan ini, dan juga mengenal dan benar-benar memahami perbedaan antara hal-hal yang kita semua inginkan di hidup kita dan apa yang kita sebenarnya butuhkan di kehidupan kita, agar ini mungkin khas Gemar Rapi juga, agar nanti di hidup selanjutnya, ya nggak Mas Aang, juga kita tidak terbebani dengan hal-hal yang sebenarnya kita tidak butuhkan gitu. Ya, jadi terima kasih banyak ya Mas Aang atas waktunya, dan mungkin kalau ada Mbak Kania masih ada. Gimana Mbak Kania? I think that was a very good and informative session ya untuk Mbak Kania juga.
Iya, menarik sih, soalnya kan ya belum pernah dengar ada, karena kan I knew KonMari dari her first book gitu kan. Aku nggak tahu kalau ternyata ada yang mengaplikasikan lalu mereshape lagi, improvise lagi metodenya dia menjadi sesuai kultur kita gitu kan. Nah itu I didn't know that until aku ketemu sama Mas Aang gitu. Jadi terima kasih udah sharingnya gitu. Nanti aku kayaknya akan ngasih rekomendasi untuk teman-teman yang pengen yang butuh metode itu, yang butuh servisnya mungkin gitu. So thank you Mas Aang.
Thank you banget, betul, setuju banget Mbak Kania. Thank you so much Mbak Kania, Mas Aang, and everyone else for joining. Hai, itu namanya siapa Mbak Kania? Yang paling tua ya?
Iya, Lula.
Lula, hi Lula. But yes, thank you once again Mbak Kania, and to our audience, Mas Aang, and to Ad America for hosting this, menurut aku, very informative and educational session about decluttering for your home and also for your soul, terutama dalam masa pandemi ini. And I think I'll close it off here for now. Again, hopefully you guys learned a lot. Thank you to Ad America and to our speakers, and I'll pass it over back to Maya, our e-guide from Ad America. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mbak Esta, for such an inspiring session. I learned a lot about decluttering now. I think I'm about to declutter my room right away.
Same.
Okay, thank you so much, Mbak Esta. See you again next time. The rest of you, please don't go anywhere, because I have the name of the winner for our social media quiz today. The question was, true or false, decluttering makes us feel more content? And the right answer is true. According to a licensed clinical psychologist at the University of Washington, humans are hardwired to look predictable patterns. If we can make our home environments predictable, it supports our mental health. And shout out to Khalisa Jamila from YouTube for answering the questions correctly. Congratulations, Khalisa. Now, you may be wondering, how can I develop an awesome idea for a place like this? Don't worry. You can send your event proposal to us by visiting our website at www.atamerica.or.id. Click Create an Event and collaborate with us. And every proposal will be reviewed, and your event might be featured here soon. You can also subscribe to our newsletter for weekly event updates sent straight to your inbox. Don't forget to tune in to our next event at 2:30 p.m. It's about the story of plastic and the role of youth. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at AT America, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. And yep, I think that's it. That wraps up this episode. It has been fun, but unfortunately, we have to say goodbye for now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and have a great day. Bye.